Good morning, dear students. أسعد الله صباحكم بالخير. Today we are going to continue our lectures. This is week 7, lecture 3. Okay. Also, this lecture is a practical lecture. We are going to practice reading comprehension text and answering the questions, multiple choice questions. Let's start now. Okay, this is another reading comprehension text. We are going to analyze it and then to answer the questions and then to see what are the correct answers of the questions. Let's start now. Yeah, even with today's overall focus on technology, business phone calls, okay? Yani the title of this text is business phone calls. Yani the whole text talks about what? Business phone calls, okay? Even with today's overall focus on technology, business phone, okay, calls or phone calls, business phone calls or phone calls, the same, intend to discuss deals, agreements, and any other information of professional significance are important and often utilized as they allow experts from a number of different companies and organizations to completely understand one another, like many other aspects of business. Phone calls feature quite a few variables and elements that should be considered by those involved. Failing to consider these variables and elements can inhibit a business phone call's effects and negatively impact business relationships, okay? Yani making a business phone call, it's not easy. Not anyone is able to make a business phone call, okay? There are variables and there are elements which you have to consider them or take them in your consideration before making a business phone call. Look at the question. What is a business phone call? شو المقصود في business phone call? What is a business phone call? Is it a phone call between two friends? Of course not, because we are talking a business. Is it a phone call about no particular subject? No particular subject, ما بتحكي عن موضوع معين. Okay. Okay. Is it a phone call intended to discuss deals صفقات, agreements, اتفاقيات, and any other information of professional significance? None of the above. يعني ولا إجابة إيش من الموجودة. What is a business phone call? Is it A, B, C, or D? According to the text you see here, to discuss deals, agreements, and any other information of professional significance. So the correct answer is what is C. C is the correct answer. C is the correct answer. Okay. Let's move to text 2. وعلى text 2. First and foremost, a caller dials and starts a business phone call. Who starts a business phone call? The caller. Yeah. While a receiver answers a business phone call. You see here, we have caller who dials the number and start the business phone call, and we have the receiver, okay, who answer a business phone call, caller and receiver. Starting a business phone call might appear to be easy, okay, as dialing a phone number. مكرونة سهلة, but just to dial the phone number. But there is a bit more to the process than that. The caller should assure that the call is taking place at an appropriate time for the receiver. Appropriate time, this is important. Appropriate time for the receiver. الوقت المناسب للإيش متصل للمستقبل المكالمة. That there is well-defined subject matter to discuss. Okay, appropriate time, well-defined subject matter, and that this subject matter is outlined. تبقى اعمله زي ايش؟ outline. اوكي، شو مكتوب في الاوتلاين؟ خطة عناصر ايش الموضوع اللي بدك تحكي عنه without detail. Well-defined subject matter could be anything from a potential deal to agreement specifics, and even an inquiry as to how a client is feeling and what he or she needs. Client حكينا عنها معناتها ايش؟ زبون. Whose job is it to outline a business phone call, conversations, topics? Okay. The receiver, the company, the caller, both the company and the receiver, okay? Whose job is to outline the business phone caller. مين هو اللي بيرتب اتصال البزنس اللي بنسميه احنا؟ okay. مكالمة العمل, okay. The receiver, the company, the caller, or both the company and the receiver. Okay. اللي هو ايش هنا؟ The caller, okay. And when he wants to call, he should what? Select or choose what? The appropriate time and the appropriate subject. The appropriate time and the appropriate subject, and the subject should be outlined. And the subject should be what? Outlined. Okay, let's move. Let's move to text 3. Outlines of important discussion points or reminders of topics that should be talked about during conversation help make business phone calls as meaningful and useful as possible. Okay, yeah, and if you want to make a business phone call meaningful and useful as possible, you have to what? To outline the important discussion point. The important discussion what point? Okay. With that said, business phone calls can begin with some light-hearted, small talk. Light-hearted, small talk, or non-official talk. We call it non-official talk. That's intended to offer a break from official conversation to build the trust and emphasize a relationship between proceeding into matters of professional consent. يعني قبل نبلش مكالمة العمل لازم يكون في شيء بنسميه small talk. Light-hearted small talk بنسميه احنا non-official talk. What is the purpose? What's the function of this? It intended what here? To offer a break from official conversation. تعمل زي break بين official, okay, and non-official talk. What is the purpose of small talk? شو الهدف من small talk؟ أو بنسميه احنا light-hearted small talk أو non-official talk. Listen, to help business expert make deals, whether to offer the caller and receiver a brief break and improve their relationship, or to waste company time and resources, or to see who can talk to a lower volume. Okay, do you see here? to offer what? A break. So what is the correct answer? So what is the correct answer? It's what? It's إيش? B. To offer the caller and receiver a brief break and improve their relationship. Okay. Let's move to the next now. Next 4. Exchanging information, okay, via phone call. We exchange information. What kind of information do we exchange? Okay, exchanging information or providing contact details, pertinent figures, okay, pertinent figures or statistics or other requested data or data is a common business phone call practice that can be started by the caller or the receiver. To exchange information, one simply asks the individual on the other end of the phone if he or she believes it would be mutually beneficial or helpful for all parties involved to swap specified information. If an agreement is made, okay, the received information should be taken note of. If something that a caller says isn't completely understood or isn't clear, one can politely ask him or her to repeat what was said. This request can be as simple as, "Can you please repeat that?" or, "Sorry, I didn't catch that." Look at the question. What type of information should be exchanged? Okay, we have a caller, we have a receiver, we have a business call. What type of information or what kind of information, okay, is exchanged? Is exchanged? Is it A, B, C, or D? Is it information that unrelated to work, ولا information that agreed upon at start of the conversation, ولا any information, ولا mutually beneficial information? Okay, the correct answer is D, mutually beneficial information. بس في البيزنس فون كول بتبادل المعلومات المفيدة وإلها فائدة، مش أي نوع من من المعلومات. Okay, let's continue now. Next 5. If something that a caller says isn't completely understood or isn't clear, one can politely ask him or her to repeat what was said. This request can be as simple as, "Can you please repeat that?" or, "Sorry, I didn't catch that." Ending a business phone call or the process of hanging up and bringing a conversation to a close is usually automatic and occurs when both callers feel that the dialogue's purposes have been fulfilled. حقق يعني الهدف من المكالمة. If a business phone call has to be ended early because something unforeseen has come up, يعني ينهي المكالمة بدري بسبب ظرف طارئ, the caller should ask if the dialogue can continue at a later time. Now, how should one ask a caller to repeat something? واحد اتصل فيا وانا مش عارف معلومه او مش فاهم عليه، شو يمكن انا كيف ممكن اطلب انه يعيد هذا الكلام. Okay, politely and respectfully to aid the conversation and the relationship. Rudely to punish him or her for not being clear. One shouldn't ask a caller to repeat something, well, quickly to save time, or quickly what? To save time. Of course, it's بالطبع if you want to ask someone to repeat something for you, you have to ask politely and respectfully, okay? بأدب وباحترام, to aid the conversation and the relationship. Okay, let's move to another text. Text 6. This is about, if you remember from the last lecture, about business email. Professional response emails are, okay, حكينا, if you remember from the last lecture, we talked about professional emails. And here we talk about professional response emails are courteous and useful messages sent to a person or organization that sent an initial message. For example, a business manager who's asked about his company outlook is an initial email would send a professional response email to address the sender's question and concern. This type of email should provide answers and data that are useful to the recipient, okay, based upon what he or she stated initially, okay. What are professional response email؟ شو المقصود بالprofessional response email؟ Is it emails sent to ask a question, or email sent for an official company related purpose, ولا courteous and useful message sent to a person or organization that sent an initial message, or is it B and C, or is it what, or is it B and C? Okay, which one is correct here? Okay, which one is correct? It's what, it's C. It's what, it's C. You see here? Are courteous and useful message. Okay, let's move to the text 7, the last text in this lecture. Perhaps the most considerable difficulty in sending professional business emails is remaining calm and official. For example, it might be tempting to send an angry email in response to a customer complaint, but doing so would negatively impact one's company. Okay, يعني don't send angry emails, okay, because this will affect negatively on the company. Okay, let's start. But doing so would negatively impact one's company reputation, سمعة الشركة, and performance. Instead, one should form an email response that is collected, helpful, and useful. The short-term benefits of sending professional business email are enhanced productivity, optimal cooperation, and a minimal amount of wasted resources. In the long term, however, someone who constantly sends professional business email will likely develop a professional reputation. Okay, reputation مقصود فيها أنا إيش الشو؟ What are the benefits of sending professional business email? شو مفادهم؟ Is it improved relationship, effective communication, saved money, all of the above? Improved relationship, effective communication, saved money. Yeah, which one is correct? Yeah, is it A, B, C, or D? Yeah, it's all of the above. It's all of the above. Okay, dear students, thank you for listening to this lecture. Have a nice day. Thank you very much. See you in the next lecture.